Hey everyone, thanks for coming tonight. For those of you who couldn't make it, a recording is here now, and I hope you guys have an excellent holiday. Stay safe, and wanted to get started here.
Why?
I'm Linda McClellan. I've been an RN for more than 20 years, and especially mother baby nurse for actually 20 years in February. So I love being a nurse, and I am a mom of four daughters, and very thankful to have daughters, and then the boys will come later. That's what I'm thinking. And I did start doing oils after one of our daughters did have a lot of GI issues, and we were able to find ways to help the body heal and repair, and the body gets the credit. But it was oils that really helped, and supplements with oils. Because if you have a supplement with oil, infused in it, it's going to be a lot better for the body. It's going to be a balancer because oils are plants from the earth and we are from the earth. So it makes sense that it's going to be our balancer. Nothing against pharmaceuticals, but pharmaceuticals, they can help some, but they can't go through the cell and help it. So oils is how I started, simply by using this one oil called digestion. It's fennel, anise, cardamom, and peppermint. It actually moved her stomach pain from one side to the other. So I knew at that point that the oils was going to be a very important thing to me in my life and my kids' life and even future grandkids. And here I also wanted to show you that I do a company called Zytoscans.com, and just put out a new website out yesterday. But here's one of my friends that I Zytoscan monthly. And, it's really been imperative to her due to chronic issues and everything to monitor how everything is going. And Zytoscan in 10 minutes is a tool you put a hand on a hand cradle scan and know what essential oils, what supplements with oils will help balance the body, from detoxification needs, gastrointestinal, hormonal, immune systems. All right, so I want to get started, and this is really about you all tonight. So think about what you would like to address for your health as we end 2025 and we start 2026, because, it really matters what we do daily in our lives. And we don't want to always use pharmaceuticals. We want to make sure that we use holistic balancers. So do you have digestive issues, headaches, pain, inflammation? Do you have allergies, stress, anxiety, energy issues, sleep issues, blood sugar regulation? Do you have one or more of these? So there is the modern approach, and the modern approach is, going to be going to the doctor, designed to manage symptoms, made from isolated synthetic agents, side effects known or unknown. We spend $6.5 trillion a year spent on global healthcare, and are we healthier? And then there is the natural approach, which I am now part of, addresses body's needs and root causes, extracts from plants, enhanced wellness, is safe, benefits without side effects. So I want to talk about three cool things about essential oils. They are 100% natural and safe. That is from doTERRA essential oils. I did find out, I homeschooled our twins, and one thing I found out, that all essential oil companies are not created the same. So, you can't just go into a drugstore or a grocery store or a gas station and buy an essential oil and think it's pure. Only doTERRA and maybe some other few companies in the world actually go and do third-party testing to make sure that there's nothing added to the oil, nothing taken away, or else they could be truly adulterated. Like if you see doTERRA on Amazon, it's not truly doTERRA. So make sure you don't buy from that and think like, oh, wow, I had a side effect, because those aren't pure. You can only buy doTERRA from a doTERRA wellness advocate or straight from the website, but you will get a discount if you shop through a doTERRA wellness advocate. But back to the plant. These oils are from the plant. So they're 100% natural and safe, no side effects and or addictions. They're simply extracts from plants, roots, stems, trees, certified pure therapeutic grade and potent. So they are 50 to 7% more powerful than an herb. And so if you were here with me right now, I would say, I want to give you a drop of peppermint essential oil. So if you do have the doTERRA oil out, you can go ahead and put a drop in your hand. And this is something you can do morning, afternoon, night. And you simply want to do a breathing treatment for yourself. So inhale and exhale. Oh. Inhale and exhale. And in 22 seconds from the olfactory nervous system to limbic system in the brain, it sends messages all over our body to have energy. And it's one drop is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. Simply amazing. And the peppermint plant, if you look really close to it, has almost like little pillows on it that if you pop it, the peppermint would come out. And that's how they distill it. But in this one drop I still have on my hand, I'm still inhaling it, but you can take, a little dab here and go ahead and dab it wherever you have like a little bit of head tension, the side of your head or the forehead, and then breathe it in again and just really have an old treatment with one drop. And then if you want to do one more drop, you could put it in peppermint tea. You could make your own peppermint tea. You could go ahead and do peppermint water. But it really helps for one thing, dental hygiene. And you can also open all your passageways, especially if you're using like a warm drink, because it goes up and it just clears the nasal passageways and it soothes the throat. So anyway, this is definitely probably my favorite essential oil because it just does so much. And you can really, like if you have a really bad headache, this is like one of your best friends for sure. All right, so it is energizing, promotes clear breathing, cools the body. So that could be great for the mamas in your life that do have the night sweats, from hormones changes and things like that. It can be good for fevers and of course the head tension. We talked about that. So that's the first cool thing about essential oils, that they are natural and safe. And then the next cool thing about essential oils is that they are more effective. They're simply more effective because of that illustration you see there. This is a cell, like they have a picture of a cell there. And so pharmaceuticals are going to bounce against our cell and they're going to help a little bit, right? So if you have had nausea and you're given some of the pharmaceuticals for that, you go to the hospital and they might give you, trying to think of the names of them because I'm trying not to give it this. Phenergan is one of them. And so, but Phenergan, you can only use every 6 hours or you have an overdose and it could hurt the body. And so in the world of holistic health, you can actually use ginger essential oil. And again, you can smell it, or you can put ginger in a cup of hot tea and that really helps with the nausea. And it really is Ayurvedic medicine because it's very warming. It goes the whole way through the body and it really warms up the body, especially if you can't eat or drink much because you do have nausea. It's great just to have one drop because it's equal to 28 times, or 50 to 70% more times the one drop that that comes out of that bottle. So you can really maximize the treatment for yourself or that person with an essential oil drop. So essential oils permeate the cell membrane. And so this On Guard oil, that was super popular during the time of COVID because it promotes healthy immune function. And so, you would go to the doctor during COVID time and they would say, if you had COVID, just go home, get rest. And if you get really bad, go to the hospital. But there was nothing they were really telling people to do. And so that was a problem. Now, some doctors are more holistic. They would say, take vitamin C, D3, zinc, but this is an oil that a lot of us were using in teas, and it really helps with soothing sore throat. It really helps to kick that crud in the throat. Another oil is called Melissa. So those are the two immune oils that I used during COVID time, and I never received COVID. And so On Guard oil and Melissa were two of my best friends then. And there is a supplement called On Guard soft gels, On Guard Plus soft gels. So they put the On Guard with the Melissa, and it's a very inexpensive and it's just great in case you get the crud or you think like on an airplane or a closed, really, not a lot of room to move around and, this person's coughing in your face, literally. You could actually take the On Guard soft gels and it would really be great to take it every 4 hours. And so it really helps to have a strong immunity. And then also the third cool thing about essentials, they are more affordable. They're more affordable because, in traditional healthcare, we have to pay the insurance people their money, and then you have to go to the doctor. So you're paying really double. You're paying for insurance, and then you have to go see the doctor and pay them your copay. And then you have to go your pharmaceutical. And then if you do have side effects, you have to get like if you have an antibiotic, you're gonna have to get a probiotic to take care of the gut. So that's, four charges right there. So you may end up, even if the health insurance is free, say you were just on somebody's plan, you got free health insurance, and then the doctor's fee was free and the pharmaceuticals free, you still had to use your time to go out and you had to subject yourself to a lot of pathogens from other people at the doctor's office. You still had to take that antibiotic, which, is going to kill off the good flora in the gut, the good probiotic, and then you're going to have to take a probiotic. But instead, say if this was an ear infection, look in your little essential oil recipe book. And, these holistic doctors that used to be conventional have crossed over and created these lovely essential oil recipe books for us. You can look up in there that say an ear infection is 2 drops of lavender and 2 drops of tea tree. Simply put it on a cotton ball, and simply the frequency alone is going to go into the ear canal and really be super helpful about penetrating that, the difficulty of not being able to, you have a swallow, or your child's swallowing and they have like a terrible ear infection. So now if it's been a 2-week-old ear infection, you might also need an anti-inflammatory like turmeric or frankincense alongside that lavender and that tea tree. But it's so super cool that we can be proactive moms, especially women are the caretakers in the home most of the time, but we don't always know what to do. So this provides a way to know what to do to be the caretaker of our families without running to Walmart or, online to Amazon to try to figure out what do I need. You can go to the oils, and the top 10 oils we're talking about tonight help with 85% of your challenges. So here we do see that, we do save a lot of money. So like this bottle of lavender, this helps with so much with the skin issues as the antihistamine. Lavender also helps with 2nd-degree burns, 3rd-degree burns. It's amazing. Like I actually keep it in my kitchen. So lavender is great, as we know, for sleep and calming, and you can take it all 3 ways, do it aromatically, and it really calms the spirit down. In clinical research, it's now proven to help reduce stress and help you not age as quickly, because a lot of aging we have is because of stress. So lavender, you can do it topically, of course, for the antihistamine. So say you or your child gets some sun irritation, you could actually put a spray with peppermint and lavender, and it's really nice and cooling for the body. Or you could get a lavender spray for bedtime for your kids or yourself. And then again in the kitchen, because this time of year, a lot of people are preparing special breads for holiday meals and get-togethers. And if you burn yourself, you could do, say, honey with lavender, and the honey actually is your carrier into the tissues, and that will help stop that burn. So those are the 3 cool things about essential oils, that they are natural, they're more effective, and they're more affordable. So now we're going to talk about the 3 ways to use essential oils. And the reason that I said no to essential oils twice whenever one of my daughters was sick, because I thought they were crazy. Like, why are you asking me if I want essential oils in my life? Because I was told that they were just used for aromatherapy. And I thought aromatherapy could be great, but not for helping a gut issue. But I didn't understand that when you have a really pure oil like doTERRA has, they can be used, definitely aromatically, and it'll help a lot. But the gut needs topical, right? Where my daughter had the digestion oil and her stomach pain moved from one side to the other, and even internally by taking a veggie cap or even putting the digestion oil in water and taking it down to help issues. So you can use it all 3 ways. So oils are meant to be used, for every single thing you can think of. So tonight, we're just going to talk about the 3 ways to use essential oils simply overall. And so aromatherapy, it should not be neglected at all. Actually, I think of it more highly than I ever did, because think about it, like a dental surgeon does not choose, an IV. He doesn't choose a capsule. He actually chooses laughing gas. And, when we have a dental procedure, we're going to have that over our nasal area so we can smell it in, and it kind of gets it in a calm, stance so that he can go ahead and perform his dental procedure. So in the same aspect, we're going to be using an essential oil. And if you were here with me, I would choose another essential oil called, Breathe essential oil. And the same thing as peppermint, you just put 1 drop in your hand, And this really can help, with, people who have asthma. It really helps out a lot. So you simply breathe it in and breathe it out. Breathe in, breathe out. And in 22 seconds, it really, like even less time than that. And that's just using it in your hands. You could also get a diffuser and let it diffuse right around your desk area. You could get a diffuser, right next to your bed at night and have a breathing treatment with especially the breathe oil this time of year when we are dealing with a lot of colds, congestion, or allergy season will be right around the corner again in the spring. Spring is not that far away. It's December. So think about March, April. It just comes around every year. So breathe essential oil is just awesome to use aromatically. You can even put some on your chest too. But and also another reason why aromatherapy is very important is the inside of our homes is very toxic compared to even, the outside because we're keeping all the toxins, in the world inside once we close our doors and windows. So this is a way we can cleanse our air. I know some people have the air doctors and change their filters all the time, but this is yet another way for our kids, ourselves, we can do a breathing treatment honestly, and even for our pets, cats and dogs, they have allergies too. So this is a great way to support the respiratory system. So that is the first way that we should use essential oils. The second way is going to be topical. And so some of the oils topically that can be used is, of course, the digestin, fennel, anise, cardamom, and peppermint. It's really great for, constipation. If you haven't had regular bowel movements, you simply roll it on the belly and it's going to make, the colon speed up. But the cool thing about digestin is if you have diarrhea, it's actually going to slow the colon down. So it's a neutralizer for the colon. So there's nothing you can buy at, say, Walmart or Amazon that's going to equally do that, neutralize the colon to make it work because these are plants and we're made to have plant power. But for topical use, you want to dilute the oil and make it into like a long, skinny roller ball. And it would look something like this, except twice as long. And then the roller ball on top of it, you simply roll it on the belly. And you can't really, overdo it with the oils. You might want to do 1, 2, 3 times on the belly if digestion is the one. Or say if you have pain, there's an awesome oil called Deep Blue. And Deep Blue really helps with pain and inflammation. And that's great for people who have arthritis, or say you're pregnant in your last days of being pregnant and you can't even sleep. It gives you relief, the back area especially, or hands, people that use their hands in repetitive motions, say you're a postal worker or something like that. You can actually diminish some of the arthritis in your hands, over time so they don't hurt as much. And, it's just really great. So those are the topical ways that we have used, the oils for winds. And then the third way, of course, is going to be, I think the best way for me personally. So say I have a rash internally is the best way. So what happened to me with my needing internal usage is I was only into the oils for a year. And it was COVID time, started COVID, and I got this big rash on my face. It was all red and blotchy. And I didn't know what to do because I had to wear a mask like all these shifts, 12-hour shifts, and it would always end up in a rash. So, I got on the phone with a nurse practitioner because no one was seeing you in the doctor's office unless it was critical. So I held up my phone to my face and she was like, you have a really bad rash. So you're going to have to get a steroid. And I'm like, no, I don't want a steroid. And she's like, I'm sorry, but you have to have one because I don't know how else to fix you. So I did it because I didn't know what else to do. And I can't have a rash all the time. And I wasn't experienced with the oils. So if you're on your learning journey with oils, just know you're not going to have it figured out. But once you have recurrent problems like I was with the rashes, I went to a third-party website and I was able to determine that, frankincense and turmeric and ginger are the 3 essential oils that help reboot the cells, similar to steroid. I'm not saying to do that, but I looked it up myself, and you can, try those if you need to. But every single essential oil has about 8 different properties to it. So if you look up those 3 oils, it's no wonder because turmeric is really good for inflammation. So is frankincense, and then ginger is warming the whole way through the body. So it makes sense that those three probably would be the one. So I used to make, and I see this veggie cap picture on the screen. I would just open it up. And if you've ever gone to a pharmacy and had a compound, pharmaceutical made up for you yourself that a doctor ordered, then you can do this at home for yourself. And it's just a way to empower yourself. You can also say it's just like a drop of frankincense. You want to help prevent inflammation in the body every day. This is a great way. You could just put one drop of frankincense in the water, or say, your liver and your kidneys just need detoxing. A drop of lemon essential oil in the water is just amazing. It'll actually make you drink more water too, which is great for our hydration, because a lot of times, people just don't even remember to drink water. But if you make it smart water and not buying smart water in the grocery store, because if you look that up, it may actually be toxic, but you can make your own smart water at home by getting same distilled water, something that's, like a Berkey water, some type of really, purified water that is good and clean, and then put like lemon essential oil in the water. Some people use wild orange. Some people, I know I've been using MetaPower essential oil today, and that really does curb the appetite around the holidays when everyone is baking things, offering you sweet things, and it's easier to say no if you have a drink that actually tastes amazing, because it's grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, ginger. So it's been great to have that, and it really helps prevent the blood sugar spike. So you're not spiking all the time, and so your hormones stay even, your emotions stay even. It's just a great way to run your life. But so those are the three ways to use essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. So I do want to talk about a few other essential oils that I know that you may want to hear about. So doTERRA really tries to give us our best health. And so one of the health things that I've looked into is something for an antidepressant. So adaptive, they've done 2.5 years of research about what could help. So it's adaptive is an essential oil you cannot take. You cannot take it internally, but you can use it aromatically and also topically. And so this one is just amazing, adaptive. And they did 2.5 years of research, clinical research. You can go to YouTube and look up the research they did. But they do have an adaptive soft gel that you could take. I know I do the adaptive at nighttime, and that really does take the edge off, because this time of year, we all have different holidays, different commitments, and we're still working. And it's just great to kind of take the edge off. But it really, if you look this up online, this helps with chaotic situations. And, we have 4 daughters, we have, 2 or 3 dogs, actually 3 dogs right now in the house. So, it can be pretty chaotic. So it's nice to take the edge off with this adaptive oil, especially like, say you have someone in front of you that's been, on an SSRI, like an antidepressant, for years, and they're really working hard on getting off. This is a great tool to help get them off. So I also want to talk about, let's see, the next essential oil. Trying to get my computer to move. Sometimes it takes a moment. There we go. So Copaiba, this one is one of my favorites too. I have a lot of favorites. Copaiba is like CBD without the THC. So it actually hits the same pain receptor sites as CBD, but it doesn't give us that high. So that's super important, especially because I work in the hospital 1 day a week. And so I'd actually lose my medical license if I have, the CBD in my bloodstream. So I did have a urine drug screen actually done when I was taking Copaiba. I first started maybe a year after. They were like, we need to do a urine drug screen. I was on Copaiba at the time, and I still am. I still take it in the morning and the night, because it does what it says it does there: soothe aches and pains, really helps digestion, helps the nervous system just calm down. Helps calm you down for sleep. So when it does everything that CBD does, but it doesn't give you a high, I just love it. And so you can use it all 3 ways. There's 250 drops in the bottle. CBD sometimes can be very expensive. I know we personally bought let's see, CBD for $300 from a doctor whenever we were going to try to help my daughter's gut issues. And so that did not help her at all. But then the Copaiba, I didn't have to use that for her. We found a detoxification of 3 months to help her body reboot and get restored. But for me daily, I do the Copaiba because I did lose my gallbladder when I was 20 years old. And I was a night nurse for 20 years. So I just feel like it just balances me. There's just nothing like Copaiba. I actually just hold the bottle up and take a drop on my tongue. And then I put some, in water sometimes, but it's one of my favorite oils because it just is very calming. So another essential oil that a lot of people consider is, say, if you are, you love perfume, you just love it, but you know that it's toxic, so you can make your own perfume instead of perfume. So it's uplifting. This is the one to do it with. Citrus Bliss promotes feelings of cheerfulness, and you can definitely use it as perfume. It has all the alkaline oils in it. So sometimes people have actually bought this one for using it in a detoxification bath because whenever you can kind of go ahead and just take time for your own body, especially maybe over the holidays, we have a little bit more time now. You get a cup of Epsom salts, a cup of baking soda, and say 2 drops of the Citrus Bliss, and you really feel like you're in a spa, but you're in a home spa for free because, a couple of essential oils, they last forever. So you can really promote, the feelings of cheerfulness and do the detoxification bath 1 day a week. And you may see like some heavy metals from the body floating in the tub because there are heavy metals in our air, our water, and our food. And so we really need to be detoxifying our bodies on a daily basis to really keep up with it. So let me talk about lemon. We did talk about lemon a little bit before. But one cool thing about lemon that you might not have known is, that we have fasted all night long, right? When we sleep, we naturally fast. So if you can start but your day off, say 1 drop of lemon in, say, room temperature water or warm water, it's really going to help get your gut working better, your digestion for the day. It's actually going to make you drink more water. And it's a precursor of something called glutathione. And glutathione keeps us well. It's like anti-cancer oil, and it's $15. Like some of these oils are just amazing. You can really do so many things with, but here it's talking about it being a cleanser for our body. You can work on a brown spot at night. You don't want to use this oil on your face during the day because it is a photosensitive oil, which means it could burn you if you're in the sun and you've used it, but you could use it at nighttime for the brown spots or a cleanser for your home. You would want to get the On Guard essential oil we were talking about before and the lemon together and create a room, like not a room spray, but you could create a detoxifier for your countertops. And so lemon is great for getting stickers off the counter. It's just awesome. So Deep Blue, talked about that a little bit before. It helps with head tension, achy muscles and joints. Breathe, it's one of the favorite ones because that helps with allergies and colds. This is probably the favorite of my husband. It really can help prevent snoring. I also, right before I started this class tonight, I took a Breathe lozenger, and they have 3 types of lozengers, and one's the Breathe is my favorite. It has the Melissa oil in it that's, antiviral, just like the On Guard soft gels have the Melissa. And this helps prevent, illness. Really, it truly does. It's just amazing. But the breathe drops, the ginger drops for like pregnant mamas or people that have a lot of chronic nausea. Those are great lozengers, or the On Guard throat drops are just great for, sucking on them. And then, you feel that wild orange clove just rushing where the crud could be hanging out, and you can kill some of those pathogens with that. But so balanced essential oil, this definitely does what it says it does. It balances your body. It does primarily have frankincense in it and some other essential oils, but this is great for your nervous system, for a relaxing massage. It's the grounding blend. So say you've been exposed to radiation or you've been exposed to EMF, which is electromagnetic frequency. our computers, our phones. We can detox our bodies, by either hugging a tree, walking on the earth without shoes on. But balanced essential oil is also a grounding blend because it has a lot of tree oils in it. So if we rub it on our feet at night on the bottoms, it truly can help, providing that tranquil, feeling on their feet. There's a video about it on YouTube, showing the white blood cells are just dispersing on the bottoms of our feet, like they're no longer hanging out together after use. So it's really just a great oil for balancing our body. And then we did talk about frankincense. Go to pubmed.gov and learn about frankincense there. It's really amazing because like my dad passed away, unfortunately, years ago of a tumor, and I didn't know anything about oils. I mean, I was just working actually at a pharmaceutical company at that point, Glaxo, out here in RTP. Then I was a nurse, and then my daughter got sick, and then I found the oil. So basically, circular life, like a lot of us have, it's like, wow, you're ending up differently than what you thought. But frankincense can shrink tumors and cysts, and it's been proven on PubMed.gov. So if any of you have challenges in that area or know somebody who does have that challenge, make sure you tell them about this frankincense from doTERRA. It just helps the cells perform optimally. Um, anyway, here's digestion. We talked about that one. That's for in place of so many GI issues, right? Like if you have nausea, if you have constipation, if you have diarrhea, if you have the reflux, you could use it there. You make it into roller balls, or you could put one drop in, say, room temperature water. Really don't want to use a lot of cold water with the oils because they actually go into the body quicker with warm water or room temperature. Cold water kind of constricts the oil in the water, so you just kind of want to use it room temperature or warm. So what creates disease in the body? So we're going to change kind of the stance here about talking about oils to like what is actually causing our disease in the body. So nutrient deficiency. So we're eating, food every day, but are we really getting enough nutrients from it? What about inflammation in the body? We have inflammation because of toxins, inflammation because of pain, inflammation, so many reasons like extra weight. But toxic overload, we're just extremely toxic overloaded today because we have chemicals, in our house, we have chemicals in our workplace, just everywhere. So we really need to protect our bodies. So here's a little bit about the different types of inflammation it's talking about autoimmune, it's talking about cardiovascular, neurodegenerative, gastrointestinal headaches, metabolic disease, lung disease, some types of cancer, mental illness, joint pain. The list goes on and on about how the inflammation starts. And so it also talks about the nutrient deficiencies. So, FDAs have done studies on how many of us are really just don't have a lot of nutrients in our body. So here's percentage of dietary intakes below the estimated, what we should have in adults 19 and older. And it says vitamin D, there's a 95% lack of vitamin D in people's bodies, the lack of vitamin E, lack of magnesium, lack of vitamin A, calcium, vitamin C. So we just are just nutrient deficient. So we just really need, if we could just get our core nutrients from vitamins, and doTERRA does have some awesome vitamins that are, bioavailable, which means as soon as you take them, you can feel them working. They don't go out in the urine or the stool. So that makes the difference and it makes them work. So here's a little picture of the toxins in our home that we could be getting all throughout the day. So say, like I used to be on a pharmaceutical for sleep, so that used to be a toxin in my body for years and years, like 7, 8 years. Medications I had in my body, then toxic food. I used to not know about GMOs. Like I was shocked one day when I was like, what is this on the Life cereal box? It says that it's like, genetically modified. And then I read about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I buying? So everything's just like slowly wake up call, right? Over the years, you need to do better for yourself and your kids, and your parents and future generations. We have toxic homes. Different homes that we've lived in could have mold in them. So we have to get that checked in case there's like long-term chronic illness. Heavy metals, like I said, I know that they're in some of our foods, our water, and our air. So if you're not doing something daily over time, some of the people, say if you're 50, some people are going to look a lot older than 50 or a lot younger, depending upon how they're detoxing their body daily. You could simply do that with lemon essential oil. That would be a great way to start. That's how we got started. And then we just went from there. But also mothers before they get pregnant, if they could do some detoxification of their body before they get pregnant, then they won't send, a lot of their, pathogens in the body onto their kids. That would be just the optimum way. Of course, I didn't know about this, but I am trying to work with some of these, 25 to 28-year-olds that are just getting ready to have babies so they are aware that they can detox their body before they get pregnant. And that's a whole nother chapter, a pregnancy, but you can do essential oils while you're pregnant. The right ones do help the journey. There's a few you need to stay away from at the end. Clary sage, for instance, you don't want to do that near the end because that actually starts contractions in the body. And then peppermint, you don't want to be around after you have a baby because that can dry up the milk. But copaiba and say fennel are really good for milk production. So there's just a lot of, good things to know whenever you are around somebody that's having a baby and they want to try some holistic balancers. But anyway, home and personal care items, the women, we use more of those, could be, creating a toxic environment personally for all of us. Toxic environments say we're still using what our parents used to use to clean our homes instead of the holistic balancers like Comet, like Ajax, like Pledge, all these different things. Stress perceived or real. Sometimes whatever I like to I like to remember during the day, whatever I'm focusing on is growing. So I try not to try to like hang out on the negative thoughts because that is my world that day. If I'm focusing on it, that's my little personal download. So I could get caught up for a little bit, but I try to not hang on to that because that makes me have a toxic body, emotionally for that day. And then negative relationships, people that, say a family member, even, this time of year, hanging around families, and, you just need to protect yourself from being with somebody long term that is causing a problem in your life. But if it's family, you just have to be real prayerful about that. Trauma, current and past. But the buck overflows, and this is what happens, symptoms of toxicity. At this point, most patients see a doctor and a prescribed medication for their symptoms of being toxic. And so what does that do? That makes them more toxic. So it's just not good. So there are even when people go to say Walmart or the drugstore to get some dietary supplements, the vitamin C, D3, zinc, that some of these are found contaminated and defected. So especially in our country, we just have to be really careful about what we're purchasing because some of them could be extremely toxic. Like I said, an essential based supplement from doTERRA, they're created from other countries. They bonus their farmers. It's a sourcing thing. doTERRA actually bonuses farmers from other countries, like frankincense from the Middle East. And that's in some of these supplements. Frankincense and turmeric and ginger is in the deep blue polyphenol capsules, and that's for pain. And it's just amazing. But there's so many toxins in a lot of things. So make sure you're choosing the right ones for yourself. So what are your top three health concerns? I did want to go over some of the top essential oil kits. So whether you're new to oils or whether you just need to, regroup and get more. This is the Healthy Start kit, and this is probably the least expensive kit. It's the small kit with top 10 essential oils. And so it has all the oils we just talked about, the digestion for, gut issues, oregano. That one's a natural antibiotic. So you can't take that one for more than 10 days time on guard, like at a month, because you want to give your gut a rest from that because it's going to kill off some of the good pathogens too. So you don't want it to do that. So you have to limit oregano just like you would limit, antibiotic. On guard, that's the one for immunity. Breathe for breathing. This one is for pain. Deep blue. Peppermint is for headaches and peppermint tea. Lemon detox, lavender, sleep calming and burns. frankincense, cannibal, tumor cysts, tea tree. That's great for acne and even cleaning like mold and stuff in showers and on and on. But you can do everything with those. 8 out of 10 of those you can actually use internally, and you can use all of them, the other ways, topically and diffusing. And it does come with a free diffuser, and that's 165. And then Healthy Essentials Kit. This is the top 10 essential oils kit, but it gives you, so the other kit was 100 drops, and this kit is 250 drops. So it is priced higher, but you're getting 3 times the amount of oil for just about like $100 more. So if you're like, say, a big family and you just want the oils for Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating right now, this is a great kit right here. This is the one we started with actually, because I was like so mesmerized by the oils and so enchanted with my daughter getting help with Digestify. I'm like, I want them all because I want to experiment with all of them. So here's some of the supplements that they have, some kits with supplements and things here. And then there's some with essential oils in them, like here. There's all different prices. There's no wrong way to get started. They just recommend get started. This is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. This has, the top vitamins, the VMZ. This has like all the vitamins in it. You probably take through a lot of vitamins, multivitamins, the omega, alpha CRS. But these three are really good and they're very inexpensive. And you can bulk items with, other items. So say you buy the vitamins, you can actually get a discount on some other essential oils or some other supplements when you bulk them together. And so there was a 60-day clinical trial done on the Lifelong Vitality vitamins, and actually the participants did it for 2 months. They had continued normal diet and exercise. And so here you can look at these clinical research that statistically significant improvement with blood lipids, fasting blood sugar, cardiovascular biomarkers, reduced triglycerides, cellular inflammation, positive effects on these things, biochemical indicators of cardiovascular health. So that would be omegas. Omegas are great with that, and blood pressure. Some people have gotten off their blood pressure medicine with these three vitamins. Just amazing because it lowers the inflammation in the body, increases antioxidants, blood glucose regulation. Again, that's so super important because if you have, say, sugar in any capacity during the day, you're spiking every single time, which ages you. So you kind of want to have this normal blood sugar, not all over the place. It really helps with improved mental clarity, energy, motivation, control, balance, and happiness. Just your mood alone without all the sugar balance imbalances. So what percentage of diabetes cases has increased in America since 1960? So you can see by the chart, back in the 1900s in the United States, there was no problem with, see the different hypertension, the pink, just a little bit, and then hypertension increased. And then you can see the obesity line, blue, just a little bit, like 5%, but now it's increased to way up here. And then the diabetes, of course, is the green line, and it's gone up too. So we really can see, from this chart that things have really started to have a problem. So 6.8% of the population have optimal cardiometabolic health. That means that 93% of us do not have good cardiac health. So there is a metabolic system, and this is the one I'm using tonight in my water, the Metapower oil, but it does come in a collagen, and also Metapower Assist is similar to, the blood sugar balancers of let's see, it's in the hospital. I have to think of the name, Glucophage, that's the name of it. And so all of this kit is really critical if you have a blood sugar issue. Some people are losing weight with it. It doesn't promise to be a weight loss kit, but some people have had that happen just by being on it, because when your blood sugar remains stable, your body can release some of the fat stores, which is great if you're not spiking the sugar all the time. And then here's just a little thing about Metapower Advantage is a collagen, and it really promotes healthy biological aging, improves health span. So health span should be equal to lifespan. So however many years we get, say 85 years, that's great. 85 years is, good life, right? But like if the last 10 years of your life, because you like sheer sugar your whole life or had other, physical attributes, you're going to be in a chair and not really be enjoying your life. So you want to make sure your health span equals your lifespan. So what we do daily, if we are taking some daily supplements, this one especially helps support lean muscle, connective tissue, improve skin elasticity and firmness. So here's some of the great pictures of the different skin, like the before and afters. So this person was like September 7th to January 7th, that's like what, 4 months. And like she just naturally, her skin looks better. She's definitely lost some weight. This gentleman, pre-menopower, after. These are just people that, they just wanted to share their, what results they got. Here's person also better skin, lower weight. Look at this woman's skin who she doesn't have all the problems that she used to on her skin just from taking the daily collagen. Here's another picture. This woman and this woman are the same one. So here's another before and after, and look at the different side of the eye. So it's really cool to see that even her eyes look like they're sparkling more. It's just amazing. So there is a university called Roseman University that actually does a lot of studies on doTERRA oils, and they were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation, metabolic health, inflammatory responses. So essential oils from different competitors, they say, had minimal effects. So they concluded that the therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent upon the complete composition of the oil. So sourcing, processing, and characterization are critical. So it does talk about price per drop here. So it's really critical to know that, when you buy a bottle of essential oil, it's going to last a long time. There's 250 drops in the bottle. And so On Guard has it's only 15 cents a bottle, 15 cents a drop. Get 250 drops of that. So 31 cents for the frankincense. It is free this month in December with a 200 PV purchase. Super cool. But on and on, it just talks about how affordable. So you can actually do a lot of your health care just with those oils. And then it just talks about how that it does go through the cell membrane and really helps us immediately. So here's some other kits to check out. The Lifelong Vitality, it's only like $85 a month. And so a lot of times if you, pair that together with some other supplements, they're going to give you the supplements 50% off, which is really ideal. Like the probiotic is like half price. This is normally $45, but it's only $26.50 when you do pair it with either the Lifelong Vitality or the collagen. So pairing together bulking items is great. So we are part of a movement to create a healer in every home. So we definitely invite you to become part of that movement. So if you want something like this, we do in-home classes. We also do online classes. And for our hostesses, we always give gifts. So something like this is great for your keychain. And also on each of the accounts that everybody has from doTERRA, you can actually share a link and get free points for free products. And if you do want to upgrade your account and become a wellness advocate, you can do that as well. So you either get free points for free products, or actually get some cash to buy different things you may need, or actually just pay for your own oil so you can do the oil lifestyle. So there is the joy of sharing oils. And I'm a nurse. I never thought I would be doing this, but I never thought I wouldn't be doing it. I'm pretty much in my life, if it looks like it's something I should do, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. Like, becoming a mom, I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to homeschool. I wanted to be a nurse. So I'm just going to go after those things that are important to me. So I feel like essential oils are extremely important to share. A lot of people don't know about them. So I feel very like I need to be intentional about it every single chance I get. That's why we're doing these classes. But doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world, most tested, most trusted. It's used by doctors and hospitals worldwide, ethically and sustainably sourced. Work directly with the farmers, 120 plus markets open. Compensation plan is genius. High retention rate of 65%. People are buying. Like I have some customers that have been buying ever since I started. That's like 7 years ago. Privately owned company, incredible ownership team. So how do you make money? You can sample people, teach classes, you simply enroll, you educate, you support. It's actually really simple to do it. You just have to have a heart for people and never give up, and then you'll succeed. It's easy to give up, but you have to decide, is this something you really want to do? You go for it because there's a lot of support in our area, of this area. So the income potential just climbs, you start down here, maybe, a couple hundred a month, but then you can just grow. And I know some people that are way up here personally, and they started down here. So it's just the amount of time and energy you want to put through it. And I still work as a nurse 1 day a week average at the hospital. So, nobody's ever saying to give up your main job, but actually, this is something that will replace my income as I get older. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm just not going to give up, and then I win. That's pretty much how you have to do it. And then that way, even if somebody says no to oils, it doesn't matter because there's going to be 5 more people that say yes because people are looking for this. They really are looking for answers. They just don't know it's oils all the time. So, how much time is involved? I want my oils paid for 3 to 5 hours a week. I want to supplement my income 5 to 15 hours a week, by teaching classes, sharing oils. I want to replace my income 15 to 30 hours a week. So could this work for me? So are you passionate about oils? Do you love people? Can you follow a system and getting things done? Because there are systems to do this. What is the next step? So if you have a wholesale account, you want to upgrade it and set it to 100 PV LRP. And that means loyalty reward program. They have a great program of doing that. Like say you're buying a whole lot of products from all over the place and you decide if I can just put a lot of money into the doTERRA items, which will be more pure, they're actually going to give you 10% back of that order the first 3 months. And then it climbs to be 30% back by, a year later. So they really do give excellent, money back for, us agreeing to have the to order set up. So reach out for help. We will plug you all into our training resources. We have a lot of training out there. We have classes. We have different sites that people can go on and watch class every Wednesday night and just learn from a lot of doctors that are doing this. But it's so much fun and it's so positive, and it'll really make your day every single day by having oils in the house and by sharing with others. So the only thing keeping you from what you want is your story about why you can't have it. So never let your brain hold you back. Just go after for what you want in life. If you want to do this business, let us know. So are you ready to see your own results? So you would want to reach out to whoever invited you to this class or this recording and just go after it because 2026 is almost here. And you want to know a year from now that you look back that you really went after, seeing your own results. And also if you are doing the business, you actually can see your business grow. So that's pretty much the end. We're going to end the recording. Thanks for coming. And then I'll keep it open for questions.